it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. John Moran in the clutch. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. Deep to right field. Way up there. And way down the sideline. Jefferson. Another huge run. Jalen Red broke tackle. Stayed on his feet.
Welcome back to another special episode of Blake's Take, as it was senior day for the Warriors football team, and they were facing a familiar foe in the Staten Eagles, as they were looking to get the bad taste out of their mouth from last year, as the second half lost on homecoming last year. Defense was the name of the game once again for the Warriors in this one, as they just allowed the Staten Eagles just a total of 28 yards, only allowing 3 first downs and holding the Eagles to just 1 for 11 on third downs. The defense's main concern was quarterback Eli Brown, who got 19 carries in the game, but by the end of the game, he was left with just -5 rushing yards, as Isaac Lattin and Mason Stearns contained Brown at the end, forcing him inside, where he got swallowed up by Warriors D-line and senior linebackers Isaiah Blackburn and Chase Beardsley. Offensively, the Warriors established their dominant run game, as the Warriors rushed for 144 yards, with 89 of that coming from Griffith and the other 53 coming from Beardsley. This allowed the Warriors to set up their play-action pass game, where several receivers caught key passes, including Isaac Lattin, who had the game-opening touchdown with a long, well-played drive by the Warrior offense that lasted over 6 minutes. But it all comes back down to defense with this team, as senior Isaiah Blackburn picked off Brown and broke free into the sunlight for a 30-yard pick six that put any speculation to rest. The defense held up to secure the win for the Warriors and their fourth shutout this season, as they improved to 4-1 on the season. This is the Warriors' first home varsity win in over 2.5 years. So it was very special to see, and it was even more special to see an outstanding group of seniors walk off satisfied after all they have been through this season. For the culminating week, the Warriors will have their only Friday night game of the season as they take on Sisters. Just an incredible performance by the defense as always, and this really showed the community how good this team has become. Just the amount of adjustments they've made on defense, how they've come together to really rally together, and they gave all the players after the game gave all credit to Coach Stevie, as him coming in this year just really made stuff click for them. So that was amazing to see just how well they contained some of their big Staten's receivers in 6'7", number 88, and then they had another guy, number 86, who was big as well. But the defensive secondary just totally shut them down, especially senior Blaine Guzman, who had a pick in the second half and also had like 6 deflected passes. He had a great performance. All of the secondary had a great performance coming up on run. Everything was great for the defense, and then the offense really showed that they can use their run game and totally run the clock, and they don't need a ton to score a ton of touchdowns. They just need to get points on the board, as the defense will take care of the rest. Just an amazing sight to see on senior night. I couldn't believe that we were seeing such a dominant performance out of the Warriors. It may have been one of their greatest, just better performances this year, as the defense just shined through and through, and it was an amazing sight to see on senior night. I couldn't believe all that everyone had been through during COVID, and it just was a super fulfilling and satisfying thing to see the Warriors win there. So great win for the Warriors as they move on to Sisters to try and close out the season with just that one loss to Amity, with 5 wins as of the rest. Now, I could just not talk about one of the greatest basketball games we have ever seen. Yes, ever seen. As the 1 seed Zags were taking on the Cinderella story, first 4 out, 11 seed Bruins, as they punched their spot into the Final Four to punch a chance at the national championship spot. Both teams were battling with their respective elite talents up until Johnny Juzag started getting hot, knocking down shot after shot, putting the Bruins up 6 during the stretch of the first half. But in the final minute, the Zags went on a run, getting everyone involved to be efficient and having just enough time to take the lead before half. Zags came out making statements with Timmy and ones, and most of all Corey Kreisberg's powerful poster shifting momentum, so we thought, as the Bruins would stay in it, taking the lead even until Jalen Suggs got a fadeaway bucket to tie it up. And then he came back with a key block on Riley, leading into a big transition assist to Timmy to take the lead right back. Huge momentum shift again. It was just going back and forth. Now down to the 20-second mark. We are tied 81 apiece. Kisberg misses a 3. UCLA gets the board and puts it in Zags' hands, who crosses over and drives to the basket looking for contact. But Timmy made the huge play and taking the charge to send this one to OT. Wild. What a defensive play by Timmy. And Timmy kept that momentum going into OT as he had the Zags' first 6 points. And the Zags held the Bruins to a deficit of 2 for a majority of the quarter until Zhang had the ball crossing left and fading back, bouncing off the rim, but getting the rebound and sweeping it up into the basket for the tie. And then double OT? I think not, as Jalen Suggs, he's a desperation half quarter for the win, and he gets it. Game over. Zags win. 93-90. That's the final. Zags undefeated stays alive as they look to try and cap off their incredible season against Baylor in the national championship. And UCLA's incredible effort just isn't enough by the one miraculous shot. This was just a back and forth incredible game. This is the Zags, undefeated Zags, closest game all season against number 11 seed UCLA. Props to UCLA in their game plan and how they played. Their defense, their offense, incredible. Johnny Zag was incredible. The rest of the team was incredible. It was just, you could not ask more from UCLA. That program just made an incredible run after being the first 4 out to the first 4 in. And it was just amazing. So that was awesome to see them get the win. The Zags get the win in incredible fashion. I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, they separated in OT and we were like, oh, Zags win. It was down to the wire basketball, and that's what you always love to see. The madness was at its peak, at the peak of the intensity and the peak of the standards and what it means to in that game as they punch their ticket to the national championship. As the top 2 regular season teams in Baylor Bears and the Gonzaga Bulldogs will take each other on in the men's NCAA national championship. Oh, it's going to be a sight to see. I'll keep you updated on that. Hope you all enjoyed the incredible win by the Warriors. Dominant victory, dominant defense as they look to push forward, finishing off their season. And these Zags look to do the same and finishing theirs off as well. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next one.